Trash rap,
man. The way
that would be
you
so
laughed about that joint.
I was just thinking about like
in case
actually rapping that. Like,
slow down.
What if he?
That
What
should
if
be
he
the
hears
bar.
you and sends you a feature?
That's hilarious.
Okay, I've never had that kind of luck, sir.
Yo, he be like, yo, I was looking for someone like Anwar HighSign. Y'all be at the table with your $1 million plaques behind you. Like, y'all was looking for an artist like Anwar HighSign.
That type of fortune doesn't favor me.
I'm just saying, maybe this is the look.
Maybe.
Remix. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe, as Kanye once famously said, I guess we'll never know.
Anyway, y'all ready to roll?
Yeah.
All right, let's
Pretty
do
much.
this. Lay LK at OneYoungsta, hold it down, bringing that StreetGeek and NERDSoul. What is up, my people? Today on coming with another wonderful episode of Beats, Vibes, Life. Man, look, let me tell y'all about the how should I say, the 4 Horsemen. Look, we chilling, all right, and we're enjoying the newest installment of, how should we say, Hip Hop Uncovered. But before we get into it, I want to give a shout out right over here. You know him, you love him, PL Parker Lewiz.
What up? As you can see, Help the Bear is out now. All these fine gentlemen is on the thing. Go listen to us. Anwar HighSign. Thank you. Anwar HighSign has the best verse of the year, and it's on my shit. Thank you very much. I got laced by one of the dopest producers ever. That Wig Slicer beat was amazing.
Yo, Wig Slicer ain't no joke, man.
His talking and talks and talk. Yeah, fam. Shout out to everybody that's been giving it a spin. Appreciate it, man.
All right, cool. And matter of fact, let me go in and throw PL
for the win.
in there. Throw that PL link up in there for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all going to click that link. So, in the diagonal square, you see him with all the squares. Checkerboarded out. ARCKATRON.
Hey, y'all. It's ARCKATRON, place to be. That's ARCKATRON.com. All right, we got a good one today. I've been digging deep. Now I'm on the checkerboard, about to play chess. Woo!
Oh, liquid swords.
And now we going out to the satellite. You know what I'm saying? The homie.
Yeah.
Anwar HighSign on the moon. What up?
Yo. I forgot what I was going to say. But... yeah.
All right. Well, with that said.
Just hum.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo,
whenever you're in doubt, just start humming.
So we got 2 new episodes. 2 new episodes of Hip Hop Uncovered. PL wasn't here on the first 2 episodes. We did quote you that, but did you have any other thoughts on the first 2 episodes before we dive into the wealth of knowledge that we gained from episode 3 and 4?
The first 2 episodes were, I just really want to reiterate how well each episode is put together.
Word.
Shout out to Steve LaBelle. I believe he's the one that put this together. But yeah, man, it's really put together really well. Really well.
Yeah. I'll give him, this is very interesting, you know what I'm saying? At least from someone who doesn't really know hardly any of the, except like maybe 2 I've heard him shout it out in songs. But for the most part, no knowledge. So I'm like, this is brand new and awesome to me. And they reference some great things up in this. So we gonna jump around. I'm gonna say, first thing, I like how they opened up with F the Police. And they show how hip hop, like the music, the street culture, politics are all kind of starting to intertwine right now. And I like seeing kind of like the court system and then like the direct, like the direct response and how the people in the street felt, how the rappers felt about it and stuff like that. It's a kind of like a stark reminder of how close, hip hop culture is to, maybe I shouldn't say how close it is to black culture, because I know how some people get, because I know black culture isn't hip hop culture. I understand that. But it did show sort of like how representative or closely tied it is to kind of like the emotion, the heartbeat of black culture, and how it was like that perfect outlet, maybe for better or for worse, in cases like this when like people like, yo, like was it Bimmy? Can't remember. He was like, like people been, cops been beating us up for a long time. But like until the guys on the West Coast said it, we were like, hold up, we can say this on a record?
Yeah, I think that was Trick who said that.
Can we say this?
Yeah.
Oh, Trick.
Yeah.
It
was Trick.
Cool. But just that energy about like, we can say this, and now we can have an anthem that kind of represents. I like the fact that we were able, and I mean still are able, to have anthems that represent our, kind of like our emotional state. And, of course, a state that people have been going through for, since the beginning of our entrance to this, well, no, sorry. Our entrance through the slave trade to this continent. You know what I'm saying? Bam, put on your third eye. Bam, you know what I'm saying? The indigenous black people of America, but just slide that over. We ain't got time for that. But I did like that. I like that how they jumped into it and didn't shy away from covering, the sentencing differences, the cocaine differences from crack, and a big thing about the drug, I guess the war on drugs. Because I remember, I'm old enough to remember the cracked egg commercial. Like they're like, this is your brain on drugs. I remember that when I was like real little. And like I like the fact that one guy said, like they never asked the black community, like, hey guys, do y'all need help with this? Or like, how can we help you? Like it's like, nah, we're gonna go to every corner we can find, rough people up, beat
grab
them up,
everybody,
kick your door in, do whatever. And then meanwhile, of course, saying that, cocaine, it's an addiction, and we've got to help these people through it. So I really dug that. Any thoughts from you guys on that kind of like that segment or section?
Those kinds of things are kind of frustrating. Like every documentary that speaks about the crack era,
mm-hmm.
or really any era of drug traffic that affected people of color, there's always this like level of surprise that the people speaking about it have. That's like, hey, like, can you believe that they did this? Yes, I can. This is like, it's been happening for half of a millennium. Like literally. So like, I don't know. I kind of get burned out on that sort of angle. Like, hey man, they never even asked us like, hey, did you need help? Yes, I know. That was the design of the thing. They were never gonna ask.
That was the original plan.
That was a part of the plan. Like, what are we not understanding about how this operates? And there's sort of this like, hey, see, look what they're doing. They're beating us and doing stuff. And it's like, yeah, and you're like yelling to these people Like, see, we weren't lying about it. And those people like, yeah, I know, we in on it, bro. Like, you've been here watching. That's what I came over here for, was to watch you get your ass beat. I came to watch you get. I thought you knew. So yeah, like that's what.
Yeah, because I will say,
I'm sorry. I don't think it's more so like a level of surprise, HighSign. It's not surprise. I think more so. What's the word I'm looking for?
They're looking for this outside validation for a thing.
Thank you. It's like, yo, can you believe? It's like
the guts and engine of this thing. Like the guts and engine of that. Like if this were a computer program, the code base of the program includes that as like one of the main instructions. Is like F y'all up. Is like how you do the code and there's this hello world. It's like F up black people.
It's like white supremacy.
It's the code base. Yeah, like it's the white supremacy of the windows of white supremacy. And then like people, yo, did you see? You're like, yes, I programmed it. That's what I programmed it to do.
You set it up like this.
Set it up like that. It's working perfectly.
I can't remember how old I was when the Rodney King thing happened. I think
I was 91.
So 91.
Yeah, 91, 92.
So I might have been
92. Yeah, I think at least that's a person's videotape. That's the date it had on it. It was 91.
In 91.
All right, cool. So 91. So that means I'm 9. And I remember like being shocked. But I mean, of course, I'm 9. I remember looking at my mom being like, but we see it. Like I remember being 9 and being like, but we saw it. Like it was right there. I'm like, Mom, it's right there.
The verdict was 92. The incident itself happened in 91.
All right, so okay, so I'm 10 now, and I'm like, but it's there. And I mean, like I think Big U was like, well, they did this, so they're gonna burn it down.
Burn it down.
He was like, they're gonna burn it down.
Good times. It looked like it was good times.
He said good times. Good times.
It looked like it was good to let's burn this thing to the ground, man. Good time. Good memories.
Yeah. Speaking of Big U, I did.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't bad. Big U's statement about the like his trip from, I believe, Minnesota to Chicago. He was like, between Minnesota and Chicago, he read autobiography of Malcolm X. And he was like, once he got to Chicago, it was like, he was different. And I was like,
yeah, it changed his life.
Yeah, Malcolm will do that to you. Malcolm will either make you say, I ain't trying to hear that preaching, or be like, Dad,
who has ever had that reaction? I want to meet this amazing person.
I'm sure there's some knucklehead out there.
No, it's happened, HighSign.
Yeah.
Yo, you know what that is, man?
Ignorance.
Some people wake up and desperately need to become contrarian.
Word.
And it's real, and I don't think that they understand how irritating that is. Like, boy, are you sand in my crotch at the beach? You just have to disagree with something. Why? For what?
Because I'm sure there's some people out there that's like, I ain't trying to hear that. I ain't trying to hear that preaching. I don't want to hear that word in my ears. But because Big U was not like just lightly affiliated. Like Big U was like, he was in the game. And it just shows it just shows how powerful, even now you can go on YouTube and see like speeches or interviews or whatever. I ain't going front. The dude is like, it's interesting because almost at any given moment, he's the smartest guy in the room, but he doesn't have to like. He doesn't have to gloat on it. He always has like the perfect response, and he's never thrown off. Like he's never thrown off. He's never caught off guard. He never gets over emotional, like in an argument or anything. Like, cause me, I've seen some interviews or whatever he's been on, and I know I'd either get like angry and shut down, be like, look, I ain't got nothing else to say to you. You know what I'm saying? But I've seen interviews where like, dude is just like, yo, how did you not just get up and leave? And not only did you just drop some of like the most clearest and plainest knowledge on this person, like he still did it just like sitting like this, like, and see, that's why you have to understand exactly why you're wrong. And like that would be it. There would be like no passion, no, and I like even now watching like his old speeches and old interviews and stuff, I'm still amazed at like how perfectly crafted every argument was. And I don't think I've seen a video yet or heard any audio yet where he just gets like angry and flies off the handle or something like where maybe I'd be like, look, man, I ain't got nothing else to say for you.
Nor will you see that.
Like, so
Conspiracy P, let's get it.
Yep. So Conspiracy P, you know what I'm saying? What you got?
What I do? What I say? What?
Oh, you said nor will you see that.
I was a little winking and nod. I saw winking and nodding and winking.
Nah, you ain't gonna never see him lose his cool. That's just a good dude, man. Good dude.
Okay.
Okay. But also, let's talk Haitian Jack for a second. Well, you know what? Let's just wrap up Haitian Jack all in. Haitian Jack is smooth.
Favorite.
Haitian Jack is a smooth dude.
Yeah,
Haitian Jack is your favorite guy on the docuseries, man.
What time? No problem. 8 a.m. Got you. Hold up. What's the address again? Let me make sure I write that down. All right, I got you. Atlanta. Like, dude is a trip. Dude was like,
yeah, I'll be there by what, 8:30 you said? All right.
No problem. All right, I love you too. Bye. Dude was like, nah, I'm out. Dude was on the run essentially. Well, not even, I mean, he was on the run, but he wasn't. Like, when you're on the run, you're supposed to be like in TV, and I know people will be like, you know, it's TV movie, but you're supposed to be like laying low. Dude is not laying low. Dude is like making albums, hanging out with Madonna. That dude is not laying low. The dude is like supposed to be
hanging out with Mike Tyson.
Hanging out with Mike Tyson? Like, yo.
Hanging out with Tupac.
hanging out with like, dude has had one of the most interesting lives for someone who is definitely not supposed to be here.
What?
Like, and dude, I mean, the way he talked about what he was doing, you would be like, oh, nah, maybe the whole immigration thing blew over. Like, apparently, like, everything's fine. Because dude's having meetings with Clive Davis. Dude is, like, with the Fugees and stuff. Like, dude talk about, oh, yeah, I love living in L.A., you know what I'm saying? It's, you know, awesome and, you know, living good life.
He's the most ballingest.
He was.
The most ballingest, like, / fugitive or something.
He super went on about his life. Like, he had that open warrant for 14 years.
14 years.
And then I love he got caught up in the in some shooting or whatever, right? And I love how he talks about the shooting. He said there was a shooting. No. See, like, I say there was a shooting. You were there. like, oh, there was like, if I report like there was a shooting on like 3rd Street and I don't know, in 3rd Street and Lincoln or something, and I'm telling you guys, and we're going to talk about it. No, you don't say there was a shooting. Like, it's kind of like when someone like offends you and they're like, things were said. No, not things were said. You said them. But he was just so smooth with it. He was like, there was a shooting. You know, I knew I beat that charge. And dude beat it. No, what about the, like, yo.
I knew I would beat it because, you know, I had friends.
I had friends. I had
and I
friends now.
So, yeah.
Yeah, he did say that.
So yeah, I spanked that charge, and then oh,
he was like, but due to that
you
charge,
really are Haitian.
Immigration came back around.
You really are Haitian.
Yo, Haitian Jack is that dude, man.
It's hard not to like the guy, man.
Yo, dude is
an extremely likable guy.
Like, dude is a trip. I can imagine just sitting with him and just be like, yo, man, tell me some crazy stories, because I still don't understand how you did it. Like, me, I'd be like, you know, maybe ducking at my auntie's house or something, like, you know, peeking through the windows. Homie's chilling. I was going to like music parties and stuff, chilling at the studio, you know, at the club.
Hugged up on Madonna.
Hugged up on Madonna.
She likes a bad boy.
Yeah, and I love how he was.
Let him find
smooth. You know what I'm saying? He didn't put her out there. He was just like, you know, we hung out.
We hung out.
They hung out.
Hung out.
Haitian Jack doesn't seem like the dude. I'm
just
saying
hangs
like
out.
Haitian Jack doesn't seem like the dude that goes over like your house to like cuddle and in hopes of. You know what I'm saying?
He's not in hopes of, no. He's not in hopes of that.
Like, man, I'm gonna wear my jogging pants. She really gonna feel. You know what I'm saying? Nah, he don't seem like he don't seem like that type.
He's one of them, you know what it is types.
You know what it is. Nah, so, you know what? Not even. He's like, if that's what you want to do.
Yo, man,
he's so not pressed for it at all.
Yeah.
That it's just handed to him, I'm sure. Yeah,
I can see that. And then
I guess I could come over.
Like, you know, I mean,
Madonna's on the horn. Let me think you could.
She's in a session.
I probably could.
Like, snap.
Let me see what I got. I think I can. I'm gonna get back to you about it.
Let me call you. I'll let you know.
I'll let you know in like an hour.
Yeah. Or I'll give you exact time. I'll let you know about 5. You know, like I'll let you know about 5.
I'll let you know about
courteous. Give some space. You know.
And then, like, even now when he's in DR, you don't see him looking. He's not looking bummy. Like he ain't looking. He's not looking bad.
He chilling.
Like he out there chilling.
He's looking well.
It up.
Yeah, he's looking well.
Yeah, he was like, "Yo, this is close to perfect as you get."
Speaking of everybody be living it up.
You see the hardwood floors and stuff, and you see him out at the beach. Man,
what?
Like I
do.
Case.
It's almost like he was never in trouble. So like, yeah. So yeah, he was a trip to me, man. He's still a trip.
No, we can't front, man.
Yeah, well.
I said we can't front. That was a jam, fam. That might have been one of his.
What, the Ja Rule song? With Case?
Yeah, in Case.
I'll get back to you about it.
Man, Ja Rule gets like no love on this show.
Not like damn.
Like,
where's the
love
Ja
for
Ja?
I like Ja.
Look, I'm trying
to. You feel like you gotta lie, man. That's your biz, bro.
I bought his first album.
Yo,
so
did you buy the second one?
No, come on.
Was there a second one?
That's what I thought.
No, wasn't the second one when he had all like the hits like I Cry?
Yeah. But me,
I would not know, sir.
All I know is he was like, I cry, you cry. Like, poor Josh.
Yeah, man. Haitian Jack, man. Smooth cat.
Yeah, like, Haitian Jack's he's that dude. Cat, man. Oh man. I also liked when they talked about it was kind of like bound to happen, like this merging of like two worlds. Sooner or later, violence was going to end up in the, because they were talking about how like violent the 90s were. And, as far as like hip hop and like, and I do remember like reading the source and like listening to radio stations and stuff. I do remember like just it seemed like all the time there was some kind of show here or there where somebody got beat up or somebody got shot in a show or something. And I was like, yo, man, these cats is a little too real. Like, I mean, music is cool and everything, but like y'all doing a lot of fighting and shooting. Like, when y'all
a lot of other things besides music.
Yeah, like y'all gotta do something. Like y'all need some, like, I don't know, some help or something, because there's way too much fighting going on. But I guess it does make sense when you talk about like that merging of two worlds, where it's like even Bimmy had this moment where he talks, or either Bimmy, it's about the issue with Kevin Liles and is it Tiffany with Tiny? Is it Tiny?
What are you talking about?
Dina,
like
Tina, Kevin Liles, and Bimmy, some kind of thing. And I did want to bring this up. Because do either y'all know what happened with the Bimmy situation with Tina and Kevin Liles? And because it seemed kind of vague the way it happened. And
he explained it kind of vaguely.
Yeah.
He said that they he was working with who was he working with first?
Oh,
he was working with somebody first, and then they cut him out of
LL.
That,
he did some stuff with LL.
He does LL's album, the GOAT album.
Mm-hmm.
It blows.
Oh, it was
it blows. Goes number one.
Foxy.
Foxy. He said they gave him Foxy, and then they pulled him off Foxy, and then he was on Dub C, and they were vibing, and then they pulled him off Dub C, and the lady was like, "I'm not gonna," like, sound like from how he was explaining it, sound like she was basically saying like, "You're not gonna fool me the way you've got everyone else fooled. I see through you."
I know who you are.
And then like, he was tight. He was just like, screw it. I'm not going back to that place. Then y'all not gonna let me cook. I'm not going back.
I think he said her statement. This is sort of paraphrasing. He said something like, "You're not going to do, or you're not going to have those artists like you had him, or something like that. Like
you have everybody else in this building.
Yeah, something like you ain't gonna have everybody else
at number one. I don't know. What
it's like I don't get it. I'm like, what is? I was like, I'm missing something.
Do you mean?
What you mean? And so yeah, I was like, oh yeah,
put me with Case there. Let me get on this case.
I was like, yo, I forgot WC Fields. You know what I'm saying? Homie was chilling. Everything seemed good. Oh yeah, WC Fields, Mac Donald, and Ice Cubicles. I'll never forget that reference from the Jamie Foxx show. Ever. Yeah, I'll never forget that reference. Shouts out to Braxton P.
That makes one of us. I don't remember that reference, but it sounds like it was fun. I used to like that show, so
yeah. Shouts out to Braxton P.
I gotta refresh. I gotta refresh him. WC was on Snowfall.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to watch the show now, man. I'm gonna have to, you know what I'm saying?
That season premieres, I think, right now. I think it's on right now. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I did see it trending on Twitter. All right, so here's what stood out to me the most on these two episodes. Outside of Haitian Jack and his amazing life of where you just pretend like you're not on the run. Jermaine Dupri.
Run? What is that?
Jermaine Dupri's party, where Puff Daddy and Suge Knights seem to have a kerfuffle. And out of that falls the shooting death of a guy named Jake, who they were mad vague about too, except he was in the game, which means apparently he must be deep in the game, because they vague about him and he's dead.
He was an OG.
Triple OG.
I'm like, y'all being vague about him.
He was one of the higher ups.
Oh, all right. Because they did talk about Harry O, but they talked about kind of like how Puff and Suge, every time they were around each other, they would always be like at each other, like, you know, like yelling and screaming. And I never knew about that. Like this is news to me. Like I never knew about that, and I didn't know about Puff hiring Crips or whatever to like be his security or something. I guess like I never knew about this, and like. And then you got people like Too Short, like, yeah, that party was crazy. Like it was like I love how you have these random people in there where it's like, yeah, that was wild. Like it was like no. It was more like someone died.
Yeah.
I mean,
like someone died.
Too Short's one of those guys that's sort of like Fat Joe and Busta Rhymes, and that like they were just around for a lot of things. Like they just hadn't
seen it all
there during a lot of things that are now like what's the term I'm searching for? That are lore, that are just like, yo, this is urban legend at this point.
Yep.
And they were like, oh yeah,
I was there.
Yeah, I was there. I had a drink with them that night.
But
you know
this is the part that you don't know. Yeah, it's
you see from like another side.
You didn't know about it. Like what?
Yeah, and like Spliff started talking about Haitian Jack and all that, and like it was just
Spliff
crazy.
Popped up out of nowhere.
Spliff did pop up out of nowhere. That's a fact.
And so this kind of like drags up a whole nother like perception of the whole like Tupac and Biggie thing, where it's like this seems to me to really be even more proof that their beef was sort of manufactured from, you know, Suge and Puff. Like it seems like two
I
people.
Wouldn't say I wouldn't use the word manufactured.
Well, yeah, maybe manufactured too much.
It was based, like their deaths were based on beefs that had nothing to do with them, really.
Yeah, because it seemed like two guys that had a disagreement, but that disagreement was like fueled by the guys that like are above them that kind of like really hate each other.
No, because the dudes above them were the ones that were. How do I say this nicely?
I'm trying to say
be real, son. Be real.
They
son.
were the ones that were. Fuck it. They were the ones that were making the money.
See, that was
they were
nice
the
enough.
Ones that were the
nice adjacent.
I don't know. On the Puffy side, I can't really say, but we saw Suge throw gasoline on that fire to throw a couple. Like that sold records. Like everybody knew that beef sold records, and it's like, yo, if we gonna do it, we gonna do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like, it just sucked that it's like now we see, like, all right, it's like we didn't need, but Big and Pac had to happen for us as the newer generations to realize that, hey, man, maybe this can be more WWF than actual boxing. You know what I mean?
Your boys?
Like, let's get a script, guys.
Old boys?
Don't do that.
Like,
put it together.
Your Griselda boys, no?
Oh.
Well, no.
No.
That sounds like a shot. I don't got nothing to do with nothing.
Well, no, this is why I say no, because they're using it in a literal sense, like the showmanship of wrestling. This was like, this is not actually real. We're doing this to sell records.
No, okay. Now I get what you're saying. All right. Nah, not Griselda. I'm thinking more Rat 9 than Griselda.
Snitch 9.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, yo, we gonna sit back and we gonna formulate this stuff and we gonna make it look real good, and you know, I might accidentally hit you,
or like 50 used to do.
Huh?
Yeah.
Or like 50 used to do.
Yeah, to some extent, but then people got offended, and then it got real, and then people's feelings got hurt.
You know what I'm saying?
They found out 50 was a real dude.
It's hard
and
for my feelings not to get hurt.
Was never ever allowed to make music again.
It's hard for my feelings not to be hurt if I don't know that that's what you're doing. Like, he would do it and then be like, "Why didn't you catch the alley-oop?" Because I thought you were insulting me for real for no reason. Didn't know that this is what we were doing.
Man, shouts to Tyler Bennett in the chat. He said,
"What up, man?"
He said 6ix9ine had to happen. Like,
yo, he had who?
6ix9ine had to happen.
Explain that to me, Tyler. Can we circle back to that?
He had what?
I guess what he's saying is like that situation had to happen for people to know that, you know, like this beef stuff ain't real, I guess. But it's just the fact that he brought up 6ix9ine.
We know, like, no. I mean, I wouldn't say that we knew it wasn't real before that.
Well, true.
Right. Well, we knew it was WWF before Daniel.
When that boy came in court, though.
Poor Daniel.
That boy was like,
Daniel.
He was like, I got a story to tell.
Daniel, like, that picture is still hilarious to me. Like the picture of him in court that they always use. Yeah. I love that picture, man. And that picture is man, like, hopping back to the documentary, I actually was kind of disappointed with that segment of the documentary.
All right.
Because I've heard Big and Pac 1 million times. And so, all right, so I don't know if I'm jumping the gun here with this whole line of, but I assumed wrongly that these next 2 episodes would feature different kingmakers. And then I was a bit disappointed that we kept following those 2, because then it ultimately just led to like the same hip hop stories that we literally have to retread every time there's any sort of hip hop documentation in the world. We have to talk about, hey man, you know, and then tragedy struck. Biggie and Pac. Oh my God.
You had to say it like that.
I know.
Tragedy struck.
I was there when it happened. I was a hip hopper when it happened. I remember when it happened.
But there's tons of people that hearing about it. You know what I'm saying? There's youngsters that's watching this. They ain't know.
I think the point of this.
No, everyone knows. Everybody knows what happened.
I didn't know about Jermaine Dupri's
party. You didn't know about Jermaine Dupri's party, but that's not necessarily pertinent to the issue. Like, Big and Pac died. Yeah. Hey, did you know that Jermaine Dupri was having a party that night? No, I didn't know that. The rest of it you knew.
But you didn't know that was the party that kicked everything off. That was the party that started. That was the first.
That was a party that put the 2 guys in the same place. I could make an argument that the Source Awards kicked everything off.
This was after that.
Exactly. This was after the Source Awards.
There was stuff before that. Is what I'm trying to say. We can make it.
I mean, we could go to Quad Studios if we wanted to. Well, remember Quad Studios, and then remember the Vibe article. Yes, I do. I remember all of that.
You do.
Like, imagine people that were born in like 2004.
How many times have you heard the story? How many times you heard the story, PL?
You love to hear the story again and again.
How many times you heard the story?
A lot.
Exactly. 21 Savage. A lot.
Well, I mean, but there are people like okay, we lived through it, but there are people that's like 20, 16 or something that, you know, they know they died, but they don't know like the behind the scenes stuff.
They don't care.
There are people care about Biggie and Pac that don't know.
Huh?
There are people in our age bracket that don't know, that are like
they don't. If you're in our age bracket and you don't know, You don't deserve to know.
Well, hold on. I didn't know. I didn't know about Puff Daddy and hiring Crips and stuff. I didn't know about that. I had no idea.
There are 2 people on the show admitting that they didn't know about this stuff. I saw it too.
They didn't know about a detail of it.
But you have to understand that these little details and stuff there's a reason. Like
Denzel said it best. It's the little things.
It's like this. Like I put my finger on this. Like you've got to know that I put my finger on the light. You just knew that it lit. You got to know that I put my finger on it for it to light.
That's not. I put my finger on. That detail is like, hey man, by the way, the lighter was black.
What do you say, sir?
It's not. But it's not.
But
though.
who cares?
It's lit.
But it's not though, HighSign. It's not.
Okay.
But a dude died.
I will rephrase. I won't recant. I'll rephrase.
Okay, rephrase, my brother.
I do not care.
Okay.
I am sick of hearing that story. I have heard it enough for one lifetime. Yes, okay. I'm aware. Biggie and Pac were shot to death. It was a tragedy. It still is a tragedy. I don't need to relive the night every time there's a hip hop documentary.
All right, okay.
That I'll give you. That I'll give you.
Tyler Bennett said redact.
So when I do the NERDSoul hip hop documentary, are we just?
They may have only mentioned that to tell you, like, there are people that don't know that people want to know that the lighter is black. People want to know that you got to touch it in order for the light to work, in order for the lighter to work. People want to know those things. HighSign.
Look, man, I get it. They needed to fill up 40 minutes.
Oh man,
let's
talk
about
man.
Biggie and
that's cold-blooded, fam.
Let's take 4-hour-long episodes and steer it toward the night Biggie and Pac died. I get it. We gotta fill up the space some kind of way.
They
fantastic writing.
I think you're taking. Hold on, stay with me. Stay with me.
Amazing direction.
Stay with me for 2 seconds, right?
I'm in the car.
I think they're trying to say that the narrative. Okay, for the longest time, I'm guessing this is what they're trying to get at, right? For the longest narrative, people have always assumed that this was a rap beef between one group versus another group, right? What some people are now finding out, or what they're now letting us know is that this was more so a gang beef, not a rap beef. Like, this really didn't have too much to do with rap, other than the focal points of our respective groups just so happen to rap. I think that's what they were trying to get at. Now, HighSign, I'm pretty sure you knew this already.
It's still not news, though. It's been covered in numerous movies,
but it has
other documentaries.
But it hasn't. The incident
HighSign,
it really hasn't. The incident with the dude in Atlanta, the incident with the Jermaine Dupri party, different things there are.
All right, cool. So check this out.
Go ahead.
It was a gang beef, right? It's a gang. This is more of a gang issue, right?
Correct.
This whole static.
Correct. Or evolved into that.
Yeah.
I don't really buy that Jermaine Dupri's party is as pertinent a detail in that gang beef as we're trying to spin it right now.
It is, because
the only real thing that
hold on, stay with me. It is because he didn't this party was on the East Coast. This party was in Atlanta, right?
Mm-hmm.
East Coast.
In Atlanta, at this time, there was no Crip or Blood. None that existed on the East Coast, really, at this time, right? So as Jermaine
arguably,
it's like, hold on, just stay with me. It's like,
okay, Jay. Okay, Jay.
Stay with me.
I'm just saying, it's arguable.
Okay, it's like
we can trace Bloods and Crips back to New York as early as 95, like 96. But that's a whole different.
As early as
different chamber.
1600s.
You're losing. Stay on the course.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say is like, as a friend, it's like, yo, these are both my friends. I don't know that they're beefing. I don't know the seriousness of this situation. I don't know. I'm just inviting two people that I think are dope to my party.
Okay.
I, for lack of a better word, kicked off the biggest rivalry in hip-hop history, unbeknownst to me.
But he didn't.
You're telling me that
he just put the guys that were already.
He set the stage. He set the stage.
Like I think it's like that was like you threw the match on the fire.
Okay, cool.
That's all I'm saying. Hi, sir.
So all right, Anwar, if you could entertain me for a moment. With this third and fourth episode, what would you have?
You want me to entertain you? I'm funny to you?
Funny?
Do I amuse you? What am I?
Amuse you?
Laugh?
Oh my
clown!
Oh boy.
So what's the question though?
What would you have liked to see in episodes 3 and 4 that you didn't really get? Because it seems like you feel like episode 3 and 4 is some lazy writing. You know what I'm saying? It was weak sauce. Like, you know, where you at with it? You know what I'm saying?
We're mainly here to talk about Big U, Deb,
mm-hmm.
Haitian Jack,
Haitian Jack,
and Bimmy.
Trick as well.
And Trick. So why are we? I would like to have seen them. I just would like to have not taken a detour.
The whole
taking a detour to tell me how big and Pop died again. That's all I'm saying.
I got this one.
Domination. All right.
The thesis of episodes 3 and 4 was trying to lay the groundwork that the underbelly, the streets, had a hand on damn near everything that's happened in hip hop from like 94, 95 on.
Here's my retort.
Go ahead.
More happened in the street. More things occurred than Biggie and Pac dying. There were also other things, were there not?
Yes, but that's the most prominent. That's the most prominent. Do we need to rehash it? No. I'm not disagreeing with you.
What are we talking about? We didn't need to rehash it.
We're rehashing for the people that don't know.
Because you have to.
Hey, listen, man.
Now you know.
Hey, listen, man.
I got you. I got you, PL.
It's
just my opinion.
I got you, PL.
I personally, not speaking for the rest of the Horsemen and the council, did not need a recap of 1996 and 97 Biggie and Pac tragedy.
Now I get you.
Anwar, that's just me, just Anwar. I didn't need it.
All right,
that's all I'm saying.
Stanley famously said the reason he would always reference the origin or somebody's origin point in all of his comic books is because you never know which comic book is going to be someone's first comic book. So
what do they say about every Spider-Man movie? Sans Spider-Verse. I don't want to see the Spider-Man origin story again.
True.
That's true.
And I've said that about Batman as well. But you can do
True.
that. You can at least reference it in some type of way
Ditto
where it's
Superman.
not. You know what I'm saying? You can
No,
reference
I
it in a
agree.
way
They
where
can-
it's not, you know, taxed.
They could have referenced it.
They could have referenced it.
Was any of the 5 there?
Involved in the incident?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
There's some connections.
Make the connection.
But were the connections made
Nope.
in the film? Were the connections made in the docuseries?
I don't think that they wanted to make the proper connections in the series.
What are we talking about?
Then why even mention it then?
You know what I mean?
I'm
That's what I'm
with
saying.
HighSign.
Why mention it then?
I think they brought you. I'm not disagreeing with y'all. It's my point.
Really, what was the connection between the
They
5
just
and them?
broad stroked it. HighSign. HighSign, they broad stroked it. That's all they
They
did.
spent like 20, 30 minutes on it.
You're right.
Huh?
You're right.
They spent like 20, 30
No,
minutes
no,
on
no,
it.
no, 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 no.
Oh, you messed him
Am
in
I
there?
bugging?
No,
It
no,
wasn't-
no, no,
wasn't that
you
long?
messed-
No,
No,
They
no,
gave
no,
it like 10 minutes, man. Like 5,
No,
10
no, no,
minutes.
no,
no.
It wasn't that. It wasn't
long,
that. Yeah, it wasn't that long.
No.
It felt
No.
that long. It felt that.
He said,
It felt longer than a month.
You were in a time loop for a second.
and,
Yeah.
and while be
No.
doubling
A
time.
good 20 minutes.
It felt that long, bro. Hey, listen.
No.
You see what I'm at? It's
I did want to.
these
I wanted
people that I'm sick of being in the tangle of their lives.
all right, so
He gets
let's
it.
talk
He gets
about
it.
that for a second.
NERDSoul gets
As
it.
long as we listen to hip hop, we'll be in an entanglement of their lives.
No, NERDSoul got it.
Yeah, I did want to mention Deb for a second. I know she had some tragic moments, and it was even hard for her to talk about the death of her ex. Well, I mean, her ex-husband, I think. But
Her youngest
Her
child.
son's father, yeah.
oh, okay. I thought they were married. Sorry. But I kind of like how happy she seems now in what she's doing. You know what I'm saying? We're kind of like giving back, helping out the community and stuff, and kind of seeing that how it all tied in a strange way together, where it's like you have the streets, you have the music, and you have like this energy of kind of like community service or like this kind of like charity, I guess you could say, because all of it, the streets can be rough, but the streets can also be very loving and giving, and there people that live there, because I mean no matter what block you on, I mean there can be some of the hardest, illest killers there, but there's still going to be some people that live on that block that are like blue collar, go to work, come home every day, they just live there. And you know what I'm saying? Those people are just as giving and loving as anyone else you might meet anywhere else. So it's like, I do like, in a weird way, what I got from her story is like, you have the streets, but also how it ties into the music, and then also later on ties into charity. And it's like all of that is kind of sort of going on at the same time throughout our culture and our music. And I really thought, at least that's how it hit me. I don't know how it hit you guys. Let me know what you thought about, but that's kind of what I got from her story. And it was kind of beautiful. I was like, I like this. Like how content and happy she seemed in the space she's in now. You know what I'm saying? And even how she talked about how she kind of became an adult after going to Georgia and stuff like that. So I thought that was cool. I thought that was real cool.
Georgia.
What?
Georgia.
Oh yeah, this you know what I'm saying? So I dug that. I also I made a random comment to my wife about the Freaknik portion. I was like, one day somebody gonna take all these VHS tapes and start identifying people.
Wow.
They be like, your principal.
Whoever that person is
sir,
the biggest
sir.
hater in the history of mankind.
NERDSoul, you're late. Reddit.com. There's a
Yo, Reddit, y'all are violating.
Yo, man,
Ever do that?
Because honestly, And and PL, we've talked about this on the sports side. You know, there's a lot of stuff that athletes got away with just because it was the 90s and there wasn't no Twitter, there wasn't no Snapchat. Like they act like, oh, these kids today, if you had access to these things, you'd be doing the same stuff. But there's mad Polaroids and videotapes out there. And you gonna mess around, find out that your principal back in the days was on top of a car in Atlanta.
On Twitter, a month or two ago, right? My God.
On Twitter, a month or two ago, there was a whole thread, and people had posted. I think it was it started with the "Back That Ass Up" video, and they were like, "Yo," it was like a "Where are they now?" type things.
Oh,
and it was and then it was like people that was my. It was like a still shot of a certain girl backing it up. And you see somebody like, yeah, that's my auntie. She's a da 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 now. And you see somebody like, yeah, that was me. I'm a such and such and such. It's like there's a whole thread, and then they started doing different videos. Like, it's a thread, man.
That's funny. But because all them, you know what I'm saying, all them Freaknik videos and stuff. Because I've seen a couple tapes float around the internet. I'm like, one day they're gonna identify all these people and be like, member of the Deaconess board was at Freaknik back in the 90s.
I caught the tail end of Freaknik. It wasn't as live, let's say.
Okay.
But it existed.
I was mad because they shut it down like 2 years before I wanted to go. Cause I was like, yo, man, look, check it. When I graduate, I'm going. And it was like, Atlanta was like, no, you won't.
No, you're not.
Because we're tired of this. Atlanta was like, it's not worth it. We ain't doing it no more. And I was like, oh, man, y'all left your boy out.
Yo, I never got to experience
that's when
fun.
That's when Murder Beats took over. Bike Week.
Yeah, I never experienced
Bike
none
Week.
of that. I didn't experience
Bike Week is another
fun in my whole
another
life,
thing.
fam, except Camp Flogner. But that's different. It's not like Freaknik at all. I wanted to experience Freaknik.
But the way Trick talked about it was hilarious. Also, seeing how it opened his eyes up to sort of kind of like Southern strip culture. And how you can literally, like he say, what did he say? He sold 500,000 units.
He sold 500,000 units
now
of a strip club song that he made.
Now imagine this.
Speaking of which, PL has sort of a strip club song on his new project.
Ooh, you know
I do.
One may
Shake
say,
that, pop that.
I do.
Shake that, pop that.
I do. I've got one of those.
He wouldn't let me be on it.
Oh Lord.
All you need is like say they so.
What's it called? Super size? What's it called?
Super size.
Super size.
Okay. Super size.
What what you mean?
Super size.
Give me a second. Give me a second. Now, what you mean by super size, brother? Explain the title to us, brother.
What do you mean by super size?
The title of the song means that we like things supersized over here on the West Coast.
Oh, okay.
Repeat it again.
We like things supersized around here.
Oh. Shouts out to McDonald's.
Like what you mean like food? You saying?
You mean like food, like the Golden Arches?
You can call it that.
Wait, can you get supersized In and Out? Is that not a thing?
Huh?
Supersized In and Out?
So what you say
supersized and In and Out, boy.
Oh, so you talking about burgers and fries?
Burgers and fries.
Shakes.
Burger, yum up your fry.
And shakes.
Yeah, that's fun. It seems like it was more figurative than that, but all right, I'll go with your
right near the beach, boy. Come here. I know you want to do it. Come on.
Yo, that is a personal favorite moment of mine right now. That was
you
right
ready?
there.
All right. Here we go. Right near the beach. Boy. All right. Anyway.
This is so funny, man.
Man, there's nothing like being corny with your kid, man. It's awesome. So with that said, we have exercised the demons and reminded you that you can also supersize, all right, on PL Parker Lewiz or ParkerPLLewiz.com. You know what I'm saying? Go get that new hotness. You know what I'm saying? And then you can supersize. You know what I'm saying? You know, whether it's the golden arches or the golden arcs. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you choose to do.
Supersize your life. You dig?
In the diagonal square, the Godfather Part 3, ARC, ARCKATRON, what's up?
Hey y'all, it's me and the place to be is ARCKATRON. Check me out on Instagram at ARCKATRON. That's ARCKATRON. You can check me out there. Got some new stuff up there for you. I'm working on some stuff. You can check it out on Instagram right now. Just check me out and got some stuff for y'all. All right.
What up? And
next up,
in the bottom square, he's on the moon. You know what I'm saying? I don't know when he's coming back, but he in the moon right now. Holla at him. Anwar HighSign.
To answer that question, never. I'm never coming back. So
like
on that note, I'm gonna throw it to PL.
Take it to the bridge.
Take it to the bridge.
Parker PL Lewiz, Lewiz. Yeah, man, help the Bears out now on all streaming platforms. 7 songs, real quick, real dope. Go check that out. Run the numbers up for your boy.
Yo, PL, can we do something real quick?
Talk to him.
Because a lot of people don't know this about you. Plug the project in a different language one time.
Ooh.
Which one? Hit them with the French one time. Because French is the language of romance, and you want them to supersize with your spouse, significant other.
How would I say that? J'ai un album, Help the Bear. Todos los streaming platforms. I don't know how to say streaming platforms.
Streaming platforms.
But yeah, go get that.
Chicken, bonbons, wee bonbons, and all that good stuff. That good stuff.
That good stuff. Man, but yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. And of course, last but not least, NERD, SOUL, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all them places. Hit the thumbs up if you like what you're seeing. Hit the thumbs down if you don't. But of course, hit the thumbs down. I'm gonna send Haitian Jack after you. All right, and you ain't gonna be happy.
Run, please hit the thumbs up.
In the words of Ghost, run.
You don't want that.
When I pop the trunk, hit the deck.
Run.
So podcast for that audio, Spotify for that music. Some new joints coming soon. And we're gonna leave y'all with ARCKATRON. I think we're gonna do some Feels Good this time. I think we did the Future Sounds last.
Once you do the version with you on it, huh?
Oh, you know what? When I get time, I'm gonna finish that, and then then I'm gonna put that out. And then y'all gonna hear it. Cause you're right. I have been holding on to that too long. I gotta put it out. But anyway, y'all, we out from us.
Sean, don't make that face. We've been holding on to something too. Your black ass.
Show them
true that.
Show them the woo, man. Show them the woo. Oh boy. Anyway, y'all, we out. Oh man. Yeah.